All right, there we go. We are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to another episode of Braid Talk Tuesday. I am so excited. We are doing something that we've never done on a live Braid Talk Tuesday episode like this. I think we may have done it, maybe a version of it on Instagram, but today on this YouTube live, we are literally going to dig deep in together. We are going to literally pull these Instagram bio, we're going to just pull it apart. And so I'm excited to be able to share that with you on today. I hope everyone is just having an amazing Tuesday. It gets so tricky for me on these Tuesdays. I still get nervous. I still have to like just completely pull myself together sometimes to show up, but I really truly enjoy being able to help the braid community. So, if you've never, came on one of these episodes, every single week we're diving deep, we're talking about different braid business topics, we're talking about how we can be better braiders as just the person, how we could run better businesses, things we need to watch out for, things like not to get like shiny object syndrome over, and all of the things. And so if you are on my email list, okay, and let's just go ahead and jump right in. If you are on my email list, you got an email today and I shared with you how you could potentially get your Instagram bio audited. Okay. Now, you might be wondering, like, Neek, why are you so strong on these Instagram bios? I know that it's a very overlooked portion of our Instagram, but I'm going to tell you, as someone who has built my clientele, I would say at least 90% of my clientele, I have built it through the Instagram platform. Okay. And trust me when I tell you that if you are, I don't care what stage you're really at, every braider has to have a rotation coming in of new and old clients, right? Because sometimes even your old clients, you know, they might move, they might go on to someone else, they just may decide they don't want to get their hair braided anymore. Maybe they're trying something else. So there always has to be this ebb and flow, right? Even when you get to being like, a booked out stylist, right? Instagram has been such a tool that I have been able to use in order to kind of build my clientele and continuously keep my work in front of potential new clients, right? But the very first thing, right? Have you ever heard that saying that your first impression matters? And I know I'm just jumping right in here today. Guys, you can drop in the comments where you're watching from. You can just stop in, say, hey, let me know you could hear me, all of those things, because I know that I'm just jumping right in. But I want for you to understand that your Instagram bio is typically it's how people are going to find you, and you can fill it with things that help people find you, because we're not on these apps just because we're bored. Okay, we're not using these apps just because we have nothing else better to do, or maybe because we just want to, like, boast of our work. No, we're using these apps so that we can actually build our clientele, which in turn builds our revenue and actually helps build our braid business. So today, let's see who is ready to see an Instagram bio. I want you to drop a number one in the comments if you're ready to just jump right in, and we are going to just, start reviewing this bio or start breaking it down. I want you to drop a number one in the comments. All I need is one. Give me one number one in the comments and we'll go ahead and get started. And then I'll let you in on a little something that I have created for braiders to remember how to basically set up their Instagram bio. All right, Chantel. Hey, sis. Hey, Sharon. Okay, very good. I was hoping that maybe I can send her a message really quick and just let her know that we actually are live, because I did want to let her know that we are going to, let's see, hopefully I could find her All right. All right. Hopefully I can find her. I did send her a message earlier, but I would love for her to be on with us. Let's say, hey, we're live. Hey, this is what happens live, guys. So just bear with me. All right. So let's see. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull her page up. So I did a little poll earlier on Instagram and I was just kind of asking everybody, like, where do you, like, what do you feel about your bio? How do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel like it's doing anything for you? Do you feel like it's helping you? Do you feel like it's hurting you? Are you booked and busy and you're good? Or like, you're like, no, sis, I really need some help. So, all right. Awesome. Awesome. I think Zari, is this? Yes, I think this might be you. So, all right. Well, let's just see. I could be wrong, but let's just see. So let's go ahead and jump right into this bio. Okay. So we're doing this new segment here on Braid Talk Tuesday called Let's Talk About It. Okay. All right. Perfect. Yep. I think she's here. So we're going to start. Um, we are going to start reviewing this. Now, let me see, guys. I want to see if I could get this a little bit bigger. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. I want to see if I could get this a little bit bigger. If I can't, we'll just jump right on Instagram. And actually, let's do that instead. Let's do that instead. I'm going to remove this. Let's add this. Let's make it big. Here we go. Awesome. Awesome. So yes, we are doing this live, guys. All right. So, yes, now here we go. Here we go. Yes. All right, don't mind me. I'm so excited, guys. I am so excited that you are able to see this. So if everyone can see, we have A.Z the stylist, okay? If everybody could see this, just follow along. We're going to go through this together. Hopefully you could see my mouse and all of the things, okay? Now, I want to know, what do you all think that the most important thing is inside of an Instagram bio? And then I'll let you know what I think, but I want to see, what do you guys think? I'd love to just know what you think is the most important thing inside of your Instagram bio. Okay, yes. Chantel says location. Let's pull that up. Chantel says location. That's one of the things I was literally going to say. So I'm going to run through this really quick. We have what I've created and I'm calling the 4 P's of a perfect Instagram bio for braiders. Okay. And that means that your bio needs to do 4 things. Okay. It needs to position, so it needs to express what you specialize in, okay? It needs to promise, right? What makes you different? That's what we want to know. When somebody comes on your page, what makes you different, okay? Proof. Why should they trust you? Right? So if I'm going on somebody's page, right? I want to know, why should I trust you? How many years of experience do you have? Maybe you can say that you're trusted by blank, trusted by, busy moms, or trusted by this, or, you can fill in the blank, maybe maybe you've made some type of achievement, receiver of, um, things like that, right? Now, your location, that is absolutely, absolutely, absolutely important. But I do also want to get to this last P, and the last P is process. Okay. What is the process? How can they book you? I cannot tell you how many bios that I see. And let's see, guys. Let's see if we can okay, here we go. Oh, this is great. Okay. I love this. So I can't tell you how many bios that I see that exactly, Chantel, are missing the location, right? So it's like, okay, you're telling me you're a braider, but I don't even know where you're a braider, right? The other thing that I often see is that And I'm going to give this example in here. So we will go through this, but I did want to lay down a little bit of foundation. But another thing I see is that I can't tell you how many bios that I have audited that didn't have the person's name, right? And so, Zari, yeah, I know your name is Zari now because of your YouTube name. But when I go on Instagram, right, I don't see your name here. So let's get into this a little bit. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more because I really want, yes, I really want for us to be able to see this. Okay. So does everyone see this first line here, where it says the hair bender, right? How many know that this line is actually, it's searchable, right? So Zari, when you think of this line, honey, I want you to know that this is what this is what comes up when people put in a search while they're looking for somebody on Instagram, right? So you have to ask yourself the question, is someone literally going to be searching the hairbender? Now, let me just say, if you had built up your brand, you built up your clientele, you've built a complete brand around the hairbender and everything like that, and you were like super specifically known for that, then maybe, right? But if somebody new is looking for, I'm guessing maybe is this St. Louis STL? I'm guessing, I'm not sure. But see, these are the questions. Like if I was in your area, I wouldn't necessarily know. So what I would suggest putting here in this name line is, instead of the hairbender, right? Because again, it's cutesy, but is it something that someone who never met you or is in your area, is that something that they would know, right? So I would simply put here my name, right? Okay, see, so I'm not okay, thank you. And you guys, like, feel free to drop your comments in here, because I really hope that this is being helpful, that this will be helpful. So I have a lot of nicknames and use AZ as my brand. Okay, that's that, and that's totally fine. My name's Monique. No one calls me Monique at home, right? Everybody calls me Nikki. I did not become Neek until I started my Instagram page, right? So it's like my Braid family online call me Neek, but nobody even calls me that at home. Everybody calls me Nikki. So, that's fine. Like that's totally fine. But when we make our bios, we have to remember that it's not it's not for those who like know us and have this affinity to us. We are trying to market to those who we are trying to get in our chair. And so things that might feel a little like normal for us, it might not be notable for them, right? So let's see, Chantel. I don't know what STL is either. Okay, so see, so we want to clear that up too, right? So let me give just a couple suggestions here on the bio here, right? So for the hairbender, okay, I want you to put or try putting your name. So you can just put like Zari and then a little slash, and then this South STL right here, then you can spell out that city, right? So if it is South St. Louis, I'm just making this up. I have no idea what this is, but you could put like St. Louis braider, right? Or St. Louis braids, something like that, because this line, we want to make sure that we have in this line what somebody would actually be searching for. So is that making sense so far? I'm gonna just take a pause for a second while I'll take a little breather. But is this making sense so far? If so, please go ahead, drop a yes or no in the comments, or if any questions are coming up. This episode of Braid Talk Tuesday is like, I know we're kind of like digging deep. We're getting St. Louis. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Chantel. So let me just pull this up actually so we can all see it. So it would say like Zari and then St. Louis Braider or whatever the STL stands for, but that is a searchable term. And then even if people aren't searching the name Zari, at least when they get to this page, they know who the braider is, right? Because sometimes that could make a person not even like maybe not even approach us because they don't even know who they're talking to, right? So I know that sometimes we're in this era, we're in this new era of like faceless content and da 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 da. And listen, we are in the service industry. These people need to know who we are. Okay. I'm not saying we have to put our life story in the bio, but we need to make sure that they could at least address us, right? If need be. Ah, okay, Chantel, we're right. STL is St. Louis. Okay, so I'm glad I was able to guess that. All right, awesome. Awesome. So that's just one thing. Now, here's another thing. I told you we're going to break this down. These are our lines, the lines that I was telling you about earlier in this live with the 4 P's where we're positioning, right? We're promising, right? We're giving proof, and we are sharing our process. And I believe that if you answer those 4 things in your bio, you will have a suitable bio for any person that lands on your page. So for this first line, instead of saying 18-year-old braider, because you got to remember, guys, our bio only has a certain amount of character limits that we could use. So sometimes, not that the information is not important, but there's other places that we could put it if necessary, right? So, like the 18-year-old braider, I would probably put that on my booking site, right? Or maybe, if I had a website and I had like an about me section, I could say, I'm 18 years old and I'm super passionate about this and I've been braiding since I was this, like that area where you want to give a little bit, or like even a story of some fun facts about you, right? 18 years old, couple other things, whatever the case may be. Instead, I would position, here's that word again, position, because this line is going to help position us, right? So I would use positioning, and I have some examples, right? You could say for this line, specializing in, right? Sometimes it's just as simple as saying specializing in knotless braids or specializing in knotless braids and natural hairstyles, specializing in, whatever that is that you specialize in, that's what you could put there. So again, it's letting the person know, hey, okay, this is Zari, right? She's in St. Louis, right? She offers these types of braids, right? um you can say, because you're a at home braider, you can say where comfort meets expertise, right? So, or something like that. There's just different ways that you could position that line. Okay, let's jump to line number 2. Line number 2, Chantel, thank you so much. This is so helpful. Thank you so much. um so yes, like I said, specializing in knotless braids, kids braids, stitch braids, etc. Whatever you specialize in, that's a healthy first line in the bio. Okay. Part number 2, second line. The second line of your bio is where you can offer your promise, right? Why should they care? That's the question that we should be asking ourselves. When they get to our page, why should they care? We are catering to them. So we want to make sure that from the very first interaction that they have with us, that they could see, oh, okay, yeah, this is the person for me, right? So you can say, this is where um, I offer neat. You could say neat, long lasting, tension free braids, right? Express some of the benefits. That's the promise, right? Where we can express some of the benefits of working with us or choosing us, right? You could even put something about um professional styles every time, offering a professional experience right here, even from home, something like that, right? So you're giving them the promise of the environment being good, or your work is, long lasting, things like that. Okay. Now, right? And Zari, I'm proud of you. I love that you have your booking site up. Okay. So the next one is the proof, right? Let's talk about proof. You could say, if you recently got your license, um, licensed braider, or you could say trusted by, trusted by St. Louis, Missouri, trusted by those, if you wanted to mention St. Louis again, you can, but um there's just proof statements that you can make, serving over 50 clients and counting, or something like that. But this is the area. Thank you, Chantel. There we go. I'm trying to keep up with me, and you just got this down so good. So thank you. Um, but yes, so like the proof, like something that would give like a milestone that you've achieved that's related to related to the braiding industry or whatever industry that you're in. Because people like to see that. People like to see, like, oh, okay, she really takes this serious, right? Um, I'm about to start Cosmo. Let me see. Yes, perfect. Chantel, thank you. Let me pull this one up first. Proof, licensed braider, trusted by. Exactly. Okay. Um, Zari, where we at, girl? I'm about to start Cosmo School in almost 2 weeks. Okay, so I want to think of something for that. Um, because you can say student at, and you can even list the cosmetology school that you're a part of, right? Like that lets people know that you're taking the continuing education, very serious, right? Oh, exactly, Chantel, or certifications, right? Certified by, or Chantel, what were those certifications that were going out? Oh, student cosmetologist, even exactly, exactly, exactly. There were some certifications that were going on. The Barberside certifications, right? Um, you could, list, I mean, if you had nothing else, you could list that. But this is just that area where it's a good opportunity to show some of your achievements. I've even seen like, for example, if a braider won like a y'all, I am just drawing blinks today. I think I just worked myself up way too much before this live. Um what is it? Sometimes there's like competitions like braid and fade or fastest braider. And you could name that competition in this line, and two-time winner of, and list that. Okay. Yes, exactly, exactly. So, whatever that is, if maybe you went to a Bronner Brothers show and maybe you won, fastest braider, or maybe you won, most creative braider or whatever. So, Bronner Bros two-time, I was about to say like two-time champ, but you guys understand, right? Like you understand what I'm saying, right? And then the process, right? So in this line here, Zari, you have the hairbender again. It's a repeat. It's taking up unnecessary space. Instead of the hairbender here again, I want you to tell your viewer what to do. Okay. Like I want you to tell them, right? DM to book your spot, right? In your case, you have your link up. So you can say, click the link to schedule, click the link to book, right? And the whole booking site up, you can take that off because you already have the link here. So instead of taking up the space of the booking site is up, which I'm happy to know as a coach, I'm happy to know that you've taken that step to work on your booking site, but it's up. The link says that it's up. So instead of them having to read and say the booking site is up and then the hairbender again, no, tell me what to do. Well, how do I book you? Right? Because that's obviously that's going to be a very common question for us in the braid industry. Well, how do I book with you? Or if I run across a page, well, how do I book with them? Right? Like, so we don't, what the goal for us as hair braiders or as beauty professionals in this lane who are using Instagram to build their clientele, we want to make sure that we could answer the questions, right? Who are we? Where are we located? Who do we help? Why should they care? And how do they book with us? Right? And those are the questions that we can answer right inside all of this little Instagram bio right here, okay? So exactly, tell your viewer what to do. Click that link in the bio or click the link to book, DM to book, cuz sometimes maybe we might not have, you know, our website yet or whatever like that. Um you can say don't wait, book today, put a little down arrow. There's you could really put your personality into this, right? It doesn't have to be stiff. If you want to, you know, talk your talk or whatever the case may be, like if you're a super confident braider and you want to really let that shine through, that's fine as long as you answer the questions, right? I can't tell you how many times where I see, you know oh, hold on, Chantel, wait a minute, don't look, just book, okay? Like there we go. But I can't tell you how many times that I see in these Instagram bios where there's just so much unnecessary information, right? I've seen it where it's like boy mom, girl mom, you know, just so many like different things. And not that those things are not important to you, but your bio isn't just about you, it's about who you serve. It's about who's going to be reading it, right? And why they should book with you. So I just think it's super important not to like fill up our bios with like zodiac signs and, you know, um, our marital status or, how many pets we have at home or, you know, like just all of those things that don't really necessarily push for the client to go ahead and book with us. Okay. So let's go ahead. Who's ready for another bio? Does anybody actually let me do this? I had another one that was somewhat, I already have like a screenshot of, but since we're doing it this way, is there anybody that's watching the live with me right now and you want me to look at your bio because you're here? And since you're here, I want to make sure that you are having an opportunity as well. So if there is someone who's watching this live right now, I want you to go ahead and drop your Instagram handle right in the comment section and I'll pull up your bio and we'll go through it together. How's that? How's that? There we go. And let's see, we'll go ahead and wait. And let's see. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Let me know if you want me to look at your bio. If not, we'll just move on to the next one. And I get it. So like no pressure, no pressure or any. Oh, Marie, I didn't even see you. I didn't even see you pop in. Um, you said that's a great idea. Tell me more. I'm sorry. I was like rambling on. So I'm not really sure what you're referring to. All right, awesome. Don't be shy. We are here to help each other. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I'm telling you, even now, like I still update my bio. Like every couple months, I'm looking at my bio, like, you know what? Because sometimes, we're evolving, right? We're evolving as people and we're evolving as, professionals. And sometimes our bio might be old, right? Like our bio might be talking to people that we've evolved from. So, okay, perfect. Oh, you're driving. Okay, all right, no worries. So, Marie, go. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll pull up your bio. Okay, and then this way, if you want to come back and watch the replay, that's fine. So, let me go ahead. Let's get back over here and let's see if we can pull up another bio. Here we go. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. You guys ready? So here we go. So we see one thing that I want to say is that when I did do a lot of the bios, when I rolled out like the whole IG bio audit where I broke it all down and gave, all the things. when I offered that a few months ago, I will say that I was so impressed because you could see the grit that everybody has, right? Like as braiders, we're really, really strong. We're really determined. You know what I mean? And you could really see that, especially in the work and just the amount of posts and things like that. Sometimes it's just we just need some refining, right? That's it. That's really it. Refining and positioning. And I will tell you that those bios that I worked on, and one day maybe they will tell you themselves, but those people who got it and applied it, they saw results, right? They saw results because they were positioned to be found, right? I've been saying, well, we've been talking about being positioned to be found. Um, and we've actually been talking about it from a sense of, becoming a wife, right? At church, my husband and I, we do our women's and men's ministry. And so we were going over how the Bible says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing, right? And so oftentimes, you know, we're always like, oh, I'm looking for, not me, I'm married, but I'm just saying sometimes, we might hear our sisters say, I'm looking for a man, I'm looking for a man, XYZ. And according to the Bible, right? Sometimes I believe that we just have to position ourselves to be found, right? So sometimes we have to put things in order and get certain things in order and position ourselves and prepare ourselves in such a way that our husband comes to us, finds us, right? That favor is on upon us. Well, when it comes to these Instagram bios, when we are trying to attract the clientele, we have to put ourselves in a position that we're going to be found because, you know, we're in an age where people are searchers, they're lookers, they're scrollers, they're finders, it's like every day, when we want a thing, we're like on a scavenger hunt. And if we don't position ourselves in this hair industry to actually populate when people are looking for our services, it's just missed opportunity after missed opportunity after missed opportunity. And I don't want that for us, right? Like I want for us to, when somebody goes on and types in STL braids, you know what I'm saying? I want Zari to pop up, right? Because let me just say this, that sometimes the difference between being booked and not booked might not be the level of your work. It might be that that other braider who braids worse than you knows the tricks to the trade of being able to show up. And so in your city, she might be getting known as the one to go to because she knew how to position, that word again, because she knows how to position herself. And so if people are out there looking up STL braiders and you don't have that in the search part or the searchable part, the SEO optimized part of your bio, you could be being looked right over for no reason, not because your work's not good, not because you don't post, not because anything, just because you're not showing up when they're looking for you. Okay? So, let's see. All right. Should I count down for when I start cosmetology school? And when I start, should I do a countdown to when I graduate? Zari, that's a good question, but I would save that for stories, right? Because now in your stories is a great place to give the behind the scenes, right? If you guys are not aware of that, like stories is where it's at. Like stories is where you could kind of give that, like, not to say a play by play, because I don't really like to give a play by play of my every single day. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Like, I don't mind being in the stories and I love sharing our little ice cream uh stops and if something special is happening or I'm just in a mood where I want to engage and I want people to kind of like guess the style and different things like that. But like the stories are where it's like your first day at Cosmos school, honey, I don't well, you're 18. So I think I'm stuck in like the millennial pose. I saw a post the other day and it just like got me all the way together because it was the same day, right? So backstory, we're off topic, but we'll get back. Because this is our chat time, y'all know that. But I was taking a picture, and I don't know if I was taking a picture with my daughter or if she was taking a picture of me. And like I immediately just was like, ready to like throw him a little peace sign, smile or whatever. And my daughter was like, Mom, please, like, stop doing that. Right. And that same day, I saw a post on Instagram where it was like me trying to not do the millennial pose and then it like paused and then she did it anyway. So you don't have to do that, obviously, how whatever y'all do. Okay. Whatever y'all 18-year-olds do now. But you could take a picture, you could take a selfie, say that it's your first day, you know, it's your first day of cosmetology school, or you could take a little picture of this school. You like there's so many things that you can do, and you can take us along your journey in the stories. And then, right, and I'm just giving you Instagram strategy, but like then maybe like let's say at the end of the month where maybe you've done, oh, you can do a series. Oh my gosh. Zari, we need to book a strategy call because like I'm starting to come up with a whole bunch of stuff. Um, but you can even try like a series, right? Um, Post in my work till I finish cosmetology school, part 1, right? Day in the life of a cosmetology student, right? So there's different even series that you could come up with, and you can even do vlog style that's just kind of sharing your journey. And let me tell you, guys, that's a way to build clientele even when you don't have clientele. Because you're sharing the journey, right? So not every post that helps you build clientele has to be photos of your work, right? So yeah, Zari, I think this is a good time. I think you're rolling on a good time for us to have a strategy call so I can teach you some ways of how to balance being in school also while trying to still build up your clientele, also pairing it with social media strategy that helps you keep showing up without burning out. So I would love to teach you how to plan some of that stuff out, okay? But the stories is a great place. It's low hanging fruit, y'all. Is low hanging fruit. You could post in the story little things here and there, get that engagement going and stay in front of your clients. Let's see. Yes, position ourselves to be found. Exactly. Exactly. Really? Okay, so Nate wants to do his page. All right. Well, wait, babe, because we're gonna do Marie's real quick. We're gonna do Marie's. Okay. Because once we start doing these guys, you're gonna start seeing that for us braiders, oftentimes it's the same thing over and over and over that needs to be fixed, right? So, Prophetess Marie, right? If this is the Instagram name that you want to go with, right? Like when I hear Prophetess Marie, right? I love it. Okay. I'm here. I love a spiritual gift, honey. Okay. Is this going to scream that you're a hair braider? Not really. Um, but like there's different things that you can do to I don't want to say change, but evolve it, right? If you are dead set on Prophetess Marie, leave it. But I need to know more, right? So I don't know where you're located, right? So I'm looking at this and immediately I don't know where you're located. So again, I would put maybe okay, but I do have your name here. Okay, great. But I need to know where you're located. So where your name is here, right? At this line, I want to see, and you can even take your last name off. Like, I don't think we have to put our first and last name, but you could do Marie and then your city and then braids. Okay. To me, it's like a recipe. It's like a no fail recipe, right? Um, I like this hairistry where hair is ministry. So that's giving like more of a tagline, if you will. I'm okay with that. Kid friendly, mother approved. I like that. I feel like that's like a cereal line. I feel like I've heard that somewhere. Okay. Um Braiding since forever, right? So this to me is giving your like promise line, right? Like um you're telling you're giving your credentials. You're saying, I'm sorry, your proof line. That's your proof line. So you said braiding since forever. That's like letting us know how long you've been braiding. Um but I mean, maybe we could get a little bit more specific, right? Maybe you could say braiding since, I don't know, 1989, or braiding since 19, like, I don't know, whatever the year, but maybe we can get a little bit more specific. I do like the all hair types welcome. Excuse me. But again, um, and maybe we could use that as a, yeah, I would roll this around a little bit. Um, I love that you have the kid friendly, but I think that if you're gonna go as far as calling out kids, like if that is your main niche that you want to work with, I would make this whole thing like a mother's dream, right? Like, okay, this is exactly who I would want to take my children to, right? So I would just dig a little bit deeper. And then instead of saying like all hair types welcome, right? Again, I want to see what you offer, right? I want to, not to say what you offer, but I want to know, how do I book with you, right? So I see that there's a link here, but I might not necessarily know what to do with this link, right? So I want to know, okay, click here to book your appointment, right? And I want to have the little arrow maybe pointing down. But I see you are doing great. You have this 4-line setup. So I see that you're like taking notes, you're doing it. You have it in order. I see like the emojis. It's very clean. It's very clean. Personally, I would just focus in a little bit, maybe switch some things around just a little bit, and your bio's good to go. All right, let's do Nate's. Let's do Nate's. He's gonna he's gonna stump me. This is the bio I'm gonna get stumped on. And he's my husband. Go figure. All right. Well, let's see what he's doing well. Let's start there. Let's start there. All right. So he has, and this is a great example, guys. Oh, honey, I'm glad that you asked. Okay. This is a great example because do you see here? His name is Concise, right? Because his name is Concise the Barber. Now, could he put Nate there? He could. Can he keep Concise there? He could. I don't think it's going to make all that much of a difference either way, because he's addressed as both. He's addressed as Concise or he's addressed as Nate. Okay. Now, Kingston, PA Barber. This is the city that we're located in, right? So guess what happens when somebody goes on Instagram and they search. Hang on. There we go. Let me see. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And we can always book a strategy call. I include these even in a strategy call. So we could like actually work it out in a strategy call. Okay. A mother's dream makes a lot of sense. Okay. Perfect. All right. So okay, here we go. So this is a great example where it says Kingston, PA Barber. If someone's in our area searching Kingston, PA Barber, guess what? He's going to populate. He is absolutely going to populate. Now, he also has YouTuber in here. Nate is more of a mixed, he's more of a mixed account because yes, he's a barber, but he's also a YouTuber. And he also does barbering reviews, barber tool reviews, and things like that. So, is someone searching YouTuber, babe? I don't really know if somebody is particularly searching YouTuber. However, dun dun dun, I would probably put product reviewer or product reviews, right? Because someone might be searching product reviews more than they are YouTuber. Okay. So here we go again. He has his line here, top barber in Kingston, PA, right? I would say that's a positioning line. He says owner at Divine Hair Studios. So that's this salon that we own together, right? So he's putting Nate. No, we want to get them to the site. Because if somebody sees $50 cuts immediately and doesn't want to pay $50 for a cut, guess what? You just lost them. Okay. So I'm going to say no for that. Now, again, owner at Divine Hair Studios. Let me get this off. Yeah. And I think that's good, right? Because again, it's taking that positioning point a little bit further. You're saying, this is my shop. Um, and then here we have quality fades, beard grooming, and hot towel shaves, right? Well, to me, this is your promise. This is your promise because you're telling them what they can expect. They can expect a quality fade. They can expect beard grooming. They can expect hot towel shaves, right? So you're telling them exactly what they're going to expect. And so for your promise, and we said your promise is what makes you different. So there might be a lot of barber shops in our area who are not offering those services. So somebody who's looking for a Kingston barber, who's also looking for a quality fade or also looking for a hot towel shave, they can come to this bio and they can see exactly that, right? So let's see. Brands would search that product reviewer. Exactly. So instead of YouTuber, babe, let's switch that out to product reviews or product reviewer. But I think for you, product reviewer, like Chantel said, absolutely. Yes. So that's great. See, okay, good. Now let's get to our last line here where we have to now. I'm a very detailed person. This doesn't make or break a bio, but if I were doing this, Nate, I would actually take this arrow and I would put it to the front here. And I would just say maybe like click below to book because I really don't want to have to click see more. It's not the worst thing in the world, guys. I think even on my own bio, you might have to click see more, but it's like if I could get all the information in the bio within the limited characters without having to press that, it's just, to me, it's better. Okay. So that's just a little something there. And then he has our address here, which is just a setting that's within Instagram. You can do that. You don't have to, you can, but because we have a brick and mortar, it doesn't hurt to have our address there. You know what I'm saying? But on your concise page, I don't know. I feel like since you do most of your reviews and things like that, like your product reviews, let me just scroll down so we can just take a little peek at let's give Nate a little shine here. Let's go ahead and give my baby some shine. So we haven't even talked about highlights, guys. But listen, if y'all want to get into all of that, go on and book an IG bio audit from me because I go into all of these things on that as well. But I feel like a lot of your page, babe, is, oh, I love that. The king of clippers. A lot of your page is about clippers and things like that. Okay, clock it. We look good, boo. But yeah, I really feel like most of your page is about products anyway, and not even really as much about your haircuts. Like that's kind of like what we use Divine Hair Studios page for. So I don't even know if it's necessary to have the shop address on this page, but that's just me. You know what I mean? And then you have your links here, right? So they have the option to either book an appointment, right? Or go straight to his YouTube channel. And I think that for the page that he has, because he's operating like dually using this page for dual purposes, I think that these links are fine here. But babe, I am going to say that this could also be condensed into one link, and that one link share let's see. And then that one link, share all of your links, right? So let's see. Yes. And then you can guide them to YouTube. Yep. Let's see. Chantel, I will keep it if they want to send products for reviews. See, okay, Chantel, I didn't even think of that. So that's a great, absolutely like great assessment because that's true. Yeah, Chantel, I really like that because if a company is looking to send out a product, you know, they have the address. And honestly, Chantel, that has actually happened where like he's just had like packages in the mail and things like that. So, yeah, I love that. I love that. So, guys, here's something that if you've never thought about, if you have multiple things, right? And I will take you to my page. We can take a peek at my page. So let me go to my bio. Look, oh, I told you, I think you have to click the more, which I don't like to have to do that, but it's okay. Kind of grinds my gears a little bit though. So okay. So you could see here's my bio, right? 4-line bio, right? I'm positioning myself, right? I help braiders run their business like a boss, right? That's my positioning line, right? Next line, the next line is the promise, right? So I'm promising that I can help you price right, brand bold, and book smart, right? That's my promise line, right? Now, where's my proof line, right? This next one is my proof line. I built mine from scratch and now I teach you. Now, I could have put anything there. I could have put, I have 95,000 subscribers on YouTube, right? I could have put, um, I could have put owner of Divine Hair Studios, right? Or co-owner of Divine Hair Studios, right? But because my page isn't even really towards my clients as much anymore, like my page is more of a coaching page than it is even a client booking page, right? So I wanted to make it relevant to those braiders who are looking for coaching. So I'm saying that I built mine from scratch, which is the absolute truth with the help of the Lord. And now I teach you. So that is my that's my proof. Okay. And then I'm not saying necessarily to book an appointment with me because again, I'm not really using my Neek Lynn page to necessarily attract new clients. I mean, it still does, but that's not like the main focus for me for this page. So I'm saying here, get my free roadmap, meaning like I have this thing, it's free, you book it, click it here, right? And I have the down arrow pointing here. So, oh, let's see. Your page is a coaching page. Yeah, I try Marie as much as I God givingly possible, like can, because it's, oh man, being a braider is one thing, but being a braid business coach is a completely different thing. But God gives me the strength and He gives me that desire because by nature I'm just a helper, right? And that I can't get away from that, and I think I just stopped trying to. So if if you are a person or a service professional, and this is what I was saying for Nate, if you have multiple links, right, instead of a person having to click or try to choose which one, you could always do something like this, where, give me 1 second, guys, where when I clicked on that link, you could see now, let me pull it in for you. This is a page that has multiple of my links, right? So, like, let's say you're a braider, but maybe you also sell braid accessories or you sell hair products or whatever like that. This is called links. I need to get an affiliate link for this, but this is something called links. It's similar to Linktree. So that's the idea. And this is similar to Linktree, but I really love the customization that I have with this. I love that I could still design it. it still feels really good to me, and it's very inviting. So you could see I start off by saying, hey, thanks for actually clicking the link in my bio. So I'm making that connection immediately, right? And then I have book with me. So if they want to, if it is a client that came to my page, they still can click here to book with me. Okay. That's going to open right up to my actual booking link, right? If it's someone who is looking for coaching help or anything like that, I have here, you can check out my new website. It's not new anymore. I probably need to update that, right? But I have it to where you can check out my website. So if they were to click here, it would take you right to my website, right? Here's the get your free download. Now, if I was auditing my own thing, right, I would probably put this first because my bio said, click here for your free roadmap. So I would probably put this first so that the person who clicked on that doesn't have to scroll down 3 points before they get to it. So that's probably a little thing I'll change. And then I'll have the book with me. Then I'll have my website. So just a little tweak or whatever that I can do as well. Or maybe not. I might just leave it because, I want this page to be scrolled. So I might just leave it, right? And then I have the link to the Facebook group. So if you have never joined the Facebook group, I have a whole Facebook group, Hair Hustle Hope Collective, where braiders just kind of come and hang out and post their work and share, and we give advice to each other on styles and all of that. And then what's this here? I have my YouTube channel, right? So if you want to subscribe to my YouTube, and then I also have my Amazon store where, shop my favorites. Now, guys, I'm not going to get into everything, but I hope that this shows you that even as a hair braider, thanks, Chantel, even as a hair braider, these are all the things that we could create, right? I know tonight was about Instagram bios, and Chantel, yeah, I'll pull yours up too. And I know tonight was all about like Instagram bios, but like look at what you could get to when you have your bio set up the right way, when you have your bio set up to a place that can actually, make your bio an open door to the other things that you have that are related to the braid industry, right? Or to your industry. Because I'll be honest, excuse me, if I don't know, if you sell like, I don't know, like if you sell like fruit juices or something, or just something that completely has nothing to do with your braid page, I don't suggest like putting that stuff together. But if everything is related, like, you know if a braider comes to my page and they're looking for coaching and they're like, wait a minute though, I want to see what she has in her Amazon store, like they could click here on my Amazon store, and now they could see, okay, wait, let's go to my braid essentials, right? You could see some of the hair that I suggest. You could see some of the products that I suggest, and guys, this is honestly, this is another way of being able to create income. Okay. And it might not be, all that much, but if we're going to be on these platforms, there's definitely ways that we can tap into things like, okay, I put a couple oil sheens on here, a couple different mousses, some growth oil spray. And these are not necessarily my products, but I use these products, right? Kettles, combs, wrap strips, blow dryer or whatever. And then if somebody comes to my page and they land on this and they decide to start buying some of these products, well, guess what? I just made a couple dollars on Amazon and I didn't even braid anybody's hair to get it. So these are some of the things. And maybe one day we will really like have like a real masterclass of some of the other things that braiders can do to create additional income outside of the chair. So yeah, maybe I will put something together for that. I think that's a good idea. So let's go ahead. Let's do one more bio audit. We're going to go ahead and do my sis Chantel's, and let's see. Are we here? Oh, Chantel, girl, let me get to your bio. Here we go. Oh, wait, I missed it. Wait, hold on. I love this. How did I miss that? Oh, I love that. All right, let me get off of that. Sorry. Oh, listen, I get crazy on Instagram because it's not so much Instagram, guys. It's it's an administrative gift, okay? And I just love to see like the layout of things. So Chantel, if you need me to send you that link to like put everything, I can definitely send you that and you can house all your stuff. You can, cuz I think let's see. Oh yeah, see, you see how this is? Oh my gosh, Chantel, we could put this all in links and you can customize it and, choose your colors and insert your photos and it has little like quick motions that you can make to the links and it's really cool. So let me go ahead. Let's go ahead and let's get your bio started. Okay. All right, awesome. So I mean, Chantel, your bio's jam-packed, right? Um, so let's start off. We have knotless, stitch braids, educator, Chantel, Lansdale, PA, right? I love it. I would just rearrange it. Now, this is personal preference. You know, this is not like what I'm saying is not like Instagram gospel. Do you know what I mean? Like this is not that. But to me, I had to read in a few before I found out your name, right? So I would say Chantel, educator. I would maybe take out the knotless and stitch braids because I feel like we could put that lower in the bio. Let me pull this in, guys. I want everybody to be able to see. Yeah, okay. So I would okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I would go Chantel, line educator. I would probably oh, okay. Here we go. Chantel, I would say braid educator, right? Or cosmetology educator, right? Um, and I might even say teacher only because if somebody was searching, would they search teacher or would they search educator? Like I know it sounds better for us to be like, educator, and that's probably the, obviously proper term, but I'm just thinking from an outside in person's search habits, what would they search, right? And we could always ask our good old friend chat to see which one has a better ring to it and which one is more searchable, right? So there's that. And then, of course, I would leave in the Lansdale, PA, because that's obviously going to tell people where you're located, right? Yes. Yes. Something like exactly. Let's see. Yes, exactly. Something like that, Chantel. I think, yes. Yes. Cosmetologist educator, cosmetology educator slash teacher. I mean, you know, you could play around with it. Now, this line, I'm so glad I thought about this, guys. This line, if I'm not mistaken, it could only be changed. I think this is the line. This line can only be changed a certain amount of times in a certain period. Okay. So this is not a line that we can just like switch every day. Okay. So map it out a little bit, think about it, run it through chat, or whatever, because we have to keep this line for a certain amount of time before it can change. And let me tell you how serious this line is, right? There's this guy, his name is Brock Johnson. He is like an Instagram coach. I love his like what he teaches, right? He's like a really solid guy, right? And he accidentally instead of saying Instagram coach, he put like Instagram, like he spelled Instagram wrong. And it was so funny because it made like not national news, but it was like recognized, like they thought that he did it as a tactic to get people to, notice his bio more. And he was like, no, it was legit a typo and I couldn't change it. And when you have a page over like a certain amount of of followers and things, I think like the amount of times you can change it is even less. So he had to go like an extended period of time with that mistake in there. So this line, this one that is searchable, yes, this line that is searchable, we have to be careful with it. We got to know, okay, what we're doing with this line. So of course, that definitely something like in that like could work, right? So again, now let's talk about your four line system here, right? I love the diamonds. I love that. So I love that consistency of the diamonds. Sometimes people choose different emojis. I could have different ones. I don't even know. So let's work backwards. So your process line, book today with a down arrow, easy peasy, right? Because you're telling us where to book, right? Knotless specialist. Let's see. Knotless specialist. I would change that. So, all right, I'm jumping all over the place, guys. So, the AMCA certified hair loss practitioner, I would move down to the third line, because that's your proof, right? So, I would move that down to the third line. The first line I would put, okay, I got it. First line, Chantel, I'm going to put it in the comments. First line, I would put knotless and stitch braid specialist. Right? Because if you couldn't fit that for that line, I would just say specializing in knotless and stitch braids, right? Your next line is your promise. You already have that. Fast, gentle braider alert, right? I don't know if you need the alert, but maybe fast braids, gentle hands. I don't know. It could be something punchy, something punchy like that. So you would have like knotless and stitch braid specialist, fast braids, gentle hands, right? Third line, AMCA certified hair loss practitioner. Chantel, you have so much proof. I don't know what line. I mean, that's just one line of proof. But for you, Chantel, I'm just going to be honest, sis. You should probably have a story, and I think you do, where you say certified, right? I would maybe do credentials, because Chantel, you hold multiple licenses. You're licensed in multiple states. You hold multiple certificates. And if, you could even, and this is where I was saying, y'all, that you could get creative and you could say, like, this certified, if you're somebody who likes to talk your stuff, that certified could be ask about me. Like if that's the type of braider that you are, like, and you have a lot of credentials, you could ask about me. And when they click on that, it's just story after story after story after story, right? Of the things that you've accomplished. And I think that's a great way. Like, sis, I don't even have half of the accomplishments that you have, So for your proof line, honey, pick one. You could rotate that on a monthly basis if you wanted to. Like, leave everything else the same and rotate that line, because honey, you got enough to show for it, baby. I mean, you could put owner of and put your salon. You can cosmetology teacher for, you could put cosmetology licensed in 4 states. Like you, honey, I would write down a list and I'd rotate it. I rotate it once a month, honey, so that people could see really truly how great and wonderful you are and how committed you have been to our industry. And then the book today wouldn't change anything about that. I would leave that just as is. And then because you have like, oh yeah, because you have all these multiple links, this is great. Don't get me wrong. People will still be able to get to where they can get to. They could get there still, but like if you wanted to kick it up a notch and you wanted to have like that nice layout, you could always do like a link tree or the links.co, the one that I use, or whatever. And then I want to call out one last thing about Chantel's. Oh, guys, it's 7 o'clock. Why? Now y'all know I gotta go to Bible study at 7. Why y'all ain't tell me? It's literally 6:50, 6:51. So we're gonna end here. We're gonna start wrapping here. So, Chantel, look at this. Guys, look at this beautiful profile photo. I know we talked a lot about the 4 lines in the bio, but I want you to see that when it comes to this photo, okay? And Chantel, I'm going to I absolutely love this photo. You could change the background if you wanted to. Like keep this same exact photo, and if you really wanted to like pop off of it, you could make the background like pure white, or you can make like, you don't even have to change it. I'm over here reaching at this point just to give some type of suggestion, or you could leave it exactly as is. But the reason why I am honing in on Chantel's bio photo, the profile photo, is because it is a clear photo. It is a professional photo. It shows you exactly who she is. There is no guessing, right? So my thing is that if you don't have a professional photo yet, and it's something that you are, you're looking to get to, or maybe you don't have the money yet, one of the things, you don't even need money these days, okay? Like you could go and sit at a coffee shop or go outside. Like there's just too many things. Like I'm not even going to get into all that. What I'm saying is that a clear, concise photo of you, I think, always works the best when it comes to having a great Instagram profile picture. And Chantel, you just knocked it out the park with this. Like it's so on brand. You could see even down to the pink suit that she has on matches the pink, black, and white highlight covers. Like, and this is my kind of page. Like, no, is it 100% necessary? It's not, but does it set you apart when somebody comes to your page? To me, it does. So, guys, I really hope, truly, I truly hope that this was helpful. I'm definitely working on the professional photo. Listen, and honestly, my profile photo wasn't even a professional one at first. But like, if you can't get a professional photo, take a darn good selfie. Like take a selfie, find an area. If you don't have a salon, like find an area that's plain, or that's not too busy, and just a nice, like a picture that you feel super confident about yourself. Find that nice picture. My profile picture was a picture from me in my living room, for years, until I got my professional one in the shop. So, that is always an option, is taking a very nice selfie, or have someone else take your photo, for you. And if you don't have that, then I would have a very clear photo of your logo, right? But your logo has to be one of those logos that are like boom in your face, not like little tiny writing that somebody got to be trying to squint and see, what does it actually say and all that stuff. Like your logo better be like prominent, okay, if you are going to use your logo instead of a photo of yourself, okay? But absolutely, Chantel, like absolutely, a good selfie will do it every time, okay? So let's see. This has been helpful. Please enjoy Bible study. Oh, yeah, I'll get my sister to be my photographer with her newer version iPhone. Baby, that's all you need. In 2025, all you need is a good iPhone, okay? And don't even sleep on them Androids because some of them Androids are really, really good too. So again, guys, I really um hope that you enjoyed today's live. I had a blast just going through these Instagram bios. I love to do it. If you've watched this live and you're like, man, I really need, a second set of eyes on my Instagram bio, please feel free to reach out to me. You can DM me on Instagram or you can check out my website. It's just neeklyn.com. And sis, I see you. Yeah, Android. It's just, neeklyn.com. You can go on. You could even click on any of the other Braid Talk Tuesday videos, or you could even check out my YouTube channel. Like, guys, there is a little something out there for everybody. But even if you go to my YouTube channel, all the links are in the description section. And if you come over on Instagram, you can just click on the link in my bio. But I really do hope that you enjoyed this episode of Braid Talk Tuesday. It's always a blessing to be able to come before you, even though I get so nervous and psych myself up literally every single week. But by the grace of God, I'm able to show up. I'm able to help. I'm able to connect with you, and your connection with me means everything. So, guys, as always, be blessed. Have an amazing rest of your Tuesday. I'm going to check out for Bible study, and I will, God willing, talk to you in the next episode of Braid Talk Tuesday. God bless.